Hi, my name is Paul Best, and I'm the instructor here for the Business Incubator program at St. Patrick High School. What we really focus in on here is giving your son an opportunity to learn how to start up a business, to solve real-world problems. More importantly, what we teach is really how your son can learn to work in groups to solve problems. In our case, it's just in the context of a business, but whether your son decides to pursue a career in education, in healthcare, or business, a critical life skill is around learning how to solve problems within a group setting. So the way this works in terms of the overall flow and content is it's a year-long class, and your son will start off by learning about how to ideate. So what are some real-world problems that consumers face that aren't being solved by existing businesses? Can they go about actually solving those problems? So that's step number one, is what we call ideation. Then what we do is we move into market research, where they'll have an opportunity to actually validate the idea itself. Is this a viable idea? Is it not? From there, what we do is we actually move into marketing. So who is that target customer, and how is that business actually going to connect with that customer? How are they going to persuade them to buy that product or service? From there, we move into finance, where your son will have an opportunity to actually determine how much revenue a business could potentially generate. What are the expenses associated with it? What type of investments do they need to make in that business? And what does their overall profitability look like? From there, we move into our test market, what we call our MVP phase, where your son will have an opportunity to actually test the business idea. From that, there are always key takeaways. So it's an opportunity to reflect. What works? What doesn't work? How does a plan need to be updated? From there, your son will actually work on putting together a final pitch. So if you've ever seen the show Shark Tank before, you can actually relate to this, where your son will have an opportunity to actually present their idea to a live audience, a board of advisors, and will actually have an opportunity to actually earn some seed money to start up their business going into the following year. So overall philosophy, our overall philosophical approach to our class is around student-centric learning in a community environment. So essentially, students are ultimately going to learn by doing. They're not going to learn by me talking in front of them. And they'll have actually an entire community of people to support them. So I look at myself not as a teacher, but as a facilitator who works with over 30 alums and different teachers across the school to help your son learn. So whether it's a coach who's a subject expert in the area of finance, marketing, operations to actually teach your son, or it could be a mentor that's actually assigned to a group to work with them throughout the entire year, to provide strategic guidance, to provide other types of advice to them to help grow that business. And then ultimately, you have an entire community that's there to support your student and to help your student learn. So if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help.